Keblay, ni pedang sampai pi syaga sports corner. Belong ki football player, ki banang Tibet shushu. Kajing practice, kajing kelanmet, kadan kam belong regular ba. De, ki player ki dan kam du ban klan haga bormet, banang klan haki doksa. I samla Gregory Simni i bedai strength and conditioning specialist menta in peni hangi ya ki drills but exercises na benta kajing lek kai football but kalong kajing mentai na benta ki football players.
Hak jingya ki por, ka jingle kai football, kala nang suthiet hak leng ke perthei, hado menta menne. Khamtam ka ba penshong shit tam habai dei bakani ka jingle kai, kadai hak por World Cup. Hakari India bon ki riu 8 football, nolor ki wei ki jingle kai. Ban kentiu shishu hak baningkong. Kari India kelapan mi ya ka I League. Badminton ki klod ak film bad he spa hakari, kila seng de ki team na kijela berpihak jang kari India na kebenta ka Indian Super League. Hakaba kirang ileka na kijela jungiru kila yok banyadon mentalang haki tim berpihak. Bat kalalong kalat kamai ling ba ka ni kijinglekai. Di habai di ba ka ni kijinglekai. Ki players ki don kam bha ban minot hakaban practice bat balong discipline hakar kom im kabaman la kesngi. Nalor ka jinglam linti coach hakak kilan med kinang ilekai ki dan kamru ban pen klan chishu ya ke bormet bad doksa khamtam ki khawa bad ka jingklan ha ka shadam na ka benta ka bor mare namar kata ki dan kamru you strength and conditioning specialist bad na benta ka ni ngidon you samla Gregory Simli usamla Gregory Simli lai pausnam ka kerta ubala pendep ya ke jingsha pentibet kerpang ha ki benta ba pher un batai bad pen i yangi ya ki drills bad exercises na benta ka jingilekai football.
Ni ka course bang aliang kadai ka strength and conditioning specialist. So kani di ka main course bang pendap. After that nga pendap ka diploma in sports exercise. So first of all ya ka strength and conditioning bang focus bah di namar ba kani ka specialization baki ongken long ba kam tip kam banyai kani ka long specific ya ka sports football, basketball and then cricket, MMA, Wushu, Olympics, all of this. Mau kani ka long bateri lang bagi team kan. Kani ka course bangai pendap nga kadai originally from Pune. Kadai ka academy badai napa Pune. Tak sempor tang around 6 months. Yeah. Tambah kani ka course pa ka require yang baka don kam yang bangan research kan. Namar kani ka jinghi kai jong kani ka bampor ba. Tak sempor yang nak nomno ar lais nam pendap kawai ka program. Namar ba haka sport ni don kam ke program ni ki atlet ki noi lakai ki don kam belong plan ya kata ba hakane throw the year baro sistem ki belong ready bet namanta ka sport namanta ka tournament ki ke te namanta kata baro nga simpor kumba sis arsenam laisnam te kini ki course mga pendap nga menta haden ka topat ki long namanta banyarap i atlet ken ka rehab specialist ka functional training specialist functional group training ke prehab ru ki belong pre-operation and then ke injury ki your injury as a sports in sports during sports how to recover kumno bikin la ban kam klan show biang ban recover hadin daladap napo physiotherapy and then daladap nantaru ngale so ka more specific Olympic weightlifting now kane kalong ka sport ka ba long very highly developed sport ka balarim ha kani kalong bangila on penon kami kani every sport kuma po cricket football hay kana bo athlete un kam klan un la ban long utilize ban penon kam ya ka bormet ju nomor ka bormet ju kadi ka badon kam tam di bu klan mu bula ban penon kam ya ka bormet boro 100% temu uru kiu kerdan ke tim ru ka job kham kloi ke performance jong ka kiu ki coach ru ki sponsors ru ki yo ki sponsors kin di bo ni u perform ha tu yo sponsorship mu ru to ka roi ken ke career jong un yo nam un kiu kerdan mu ru ha ka team ula Malaysia baru easily international team se ki don ki scout ki bes tuan pet ken te kini scout te ki pet ba specific athlete te long menta ke ni specialization jong kalau menyerap lang baki ki athlete temu noi lakai ba unoi kai juki dan mi su coach ni lang as a team ken menyerap yu ni noi lakai mni tang marwai mangan penpet tama as a team kana mu on ground bun klan and off ground also ke bun le off ground mni tang musu song po yang no tang melada po ground po yang unum develop unum la ban kio tu haben pet off ground ruken ladap ke game ke match ke ibu di benle ke ibu kena num wear down kena num telot kena num long jaito basically. So now we'll start with the football drills with Ba Pinsuk. He is an AIFF certified coach for football. He also coaches the Don Bosco Academy football team. He will be instructing a few of our athletes here, few footballers, with the various drills which is required for football. The menta kini sia kin yele ka full drill jong football. Kini long ki drills ki balong very common and but at the same time more specific to Ba Pinsuk as how he teaches. So this case I want to show that I will be commenting on what is the benefit of each drill, and at the same time he will be instructing most of the exercises, most of the drills for today. So now Ba Pinsuk is teaching the footballers a little bit of a dynamic drill. So the point of this is he's getting the quadriceps ready, high knees, as it gets the legs open up and ready for a run. He's opening up his pelvis now by front kicks, side kicks, lateral kicks. So the footballer will be requiring these drills in order to avoid all injuries. So kickbacks, single leg kickbacks. A lot of drills are inclusive of things where the footballer will be in a single leg position. Multi-directional movements are required for a warm-up. Namenta ki footballer ki don kam ban don ka multi-direction, meaning in any direction ki hap ban la ban ki, and for namare and all that the muscles kim day ban long tense. Takadaw a warm-up is required in this procedure. Now Pinsuk is showing us a few of the drills for football. A few of the footballers are going in and out in the ladder. The ladder is a very versatile equipment which a footballer and any sport can use. These are used for agility drills, warm-up drills and all that. So now as a football player, he is going to show shuffles with the ladder. Side shuffle, it helps a footballer to be ready for dribbling the ball while he's playing. So obviously he requires a warm-up in this same movement pattern. Now as you can see, the various footballers are getting used to it very fast, even though this may be the first time they're doing the drill. Now the third exercise now is going to be an alternating leg, whereby only one leg will be inside the ladder and both players have to do it at the same time. Now as these players are being taught the first time, obviously there will be confusion. So they're going to try it again. As you can see, a football coach also has to deal with a lot. Now these are players which are not so conditioned with the form of the exercise, so that is why practice is required in this same mechanism. A footballer should be able to do such drills much more easily, but as time progresses, he will be able to catch on to the drill and it will help him with his warm-ups and everything.
Kelada banyak drills na menta jingla kai football tega ba kham kongsan shishu kadai na menta wan pen klan shishu igidoksa gidan hakani ka Claudius Fitness Hub ban page part ya ka strength training.
So now we start with the football strengthening exercises. Now for football, namar bakadika sport bingi penungkam bedaki kejat. Ngihaban kan mau bentang inda penungkam po ke gym, we will nginle ke exercise na mentaka kejat. Tamang ngihaban num clutch pang warm up jong ke upper body. Mo upper body and core, meaning ke abs. So the warm ups bingi focus mentah will be for the core, upper body and little bit ya ke kejat. Ke kejat kalau ada yo lupa ke warm up negative drills bingi lalai mentan. So ngin haban nyele so yaki upper body part nomor ba to avoid any injury for the upper body. So first we'll start off with shoulder taps. Mentai I pensung indon lamanga, will demonstrate along with me. Oh, now position up and nginle ekane exercise right shoulder left. Right hand left shoulder and alternate nya kato. Tekane ke shoulder taps. Basic mobility and stability exercise ya ke shoulder, but ya ke core ben strengthen and ya ke glutes ro. Dadap nanya menta ngin change ya ke front raise ha ke ne position hi. Curak di straight kerendangin pebej po. Gimdan kaman mid chalor. Mesti straight untuk. Tekani ke exercise, all these exercises don kaman le tang lai po second adap. Now, nang ni menta ngin downward dog. So push ke hip sabar and push ke heel support madan. And return to position 1. Up. Return to position 1. Up. Menta nak ni slight change. Along a little bit dynamic. Nang ni ngin toe taps. So what is happening is nak ni position will just touch our toes. So right hand, left leg. Touch. Basic stretching exercise. Lower back, hamstring, glutes, calves, shoulder also, stability kan one hand ya. Nomor ba, siliang ketinggi bat. And now, ngin change ke alternating tees. So ngin sedang nak left hand mo, pensung. 3, 2, 1, start. And kan nang lek ni exercise, yang mencu follow ya ke wrist, yang mencepat ya ke wrist. And this exercise, dek rotation exercise ke bayarap ya ke core jungi malang stable. Like I said, ya kena exercise just 30 seconds per exercise kalabel. So, menta will start with the strengthening exercise. First strengthening exercise, which is also a dynamic exercise. Namar ba ini ba pensok I don kamban long agile. Mo, temo ila benle multi direction. Then sedang with walking lunges through different multi-directional walking lunges. So, it starts off with that. Now, in front foot down, touch up. Now, ba pensok raki dumbbells kam shalor. And bend up. Now come back to position 2, 3, up. 2, 3, chest out. 2, up. Now return. So position 1, 2, 3, up. Now look straight. Up. And position 2, bend, up. Now tighten the front foot. Up. 2, 3, up. One more. Now kini lunges, they are very beneficial for a footballer. Namar ba ki don kambet je kate quadricep muscle, ke hamstring, ba ke glutes. Kani kade ke exercise ba de very endurance based exercise. So ki don kambet don power hakatne ke kechat. At the same time ki de ban laban mare aro continuously for hours. About 2 hours to 3 hours max. The kini ki athletes ki di menong kam klan kin, kam masuk ke lower body group, which is ki quads, ki hamstrings, ki glutes, ki calves ki di men kam klan kin. This sort of exercise kalau multi-directional, kalau berhikai I bukan menum yo any sort of problems ki knees, because many injuries ki footballers kadai ki knee injury, ankle injury. Now this main beling apa ni dia kan ni di nomor bakar ni kaya rabah kan multi direction jong kan ni ngam numlek detail what are the various parts of the knees tamba kani kalong perlu ready ya ka kejat kalong condition ya ka kejat bikila ban be under stress. Thank you Bapan Sok. So now next exercise kani kade ka split squat mo kisdong normal squat kish done tamba kani kade ka split in the sense single leg training ni focus by ka single leg training when it comes to footballers, because why? Single leg training will benefit the footballer more than double leg, a normal strengthening exercise. Single leg creates a lot of balance when it comes to his knee, his ankles and his toes also. See, the ball of the foot, the whole foot has to be very firm whenever he plays football. He requires this kane kalong, the most important part for a footballer. Next is his whole shins and everything. Kanika receive damage bha. So at the same time, this is what controls his movement. Apoka feel bu mare left, right, and back also. Sometimes we should mare back player. So single leg training, this is a basic muscle group, which is the quadricep, which gives him his power, his ability to kick. Bun mare ban kick ban la leli. Next part is his glutes. Now his glutes obviously is the most vital part when it comes to a footballer. Lower body exercises always are much more stronger when the glutes are stronger. An athlete requires his glutes to be very strong and stable. So that's why I always inculcate kaneka single leg training. So menta I'll make it a little bit diverse and dynamic in the sense bang apan comes so ke resistance ki dumbbell. Dumbbell mentangan ai Bapan Sok benra halor straight up. So what happens is menta ka shoulder jung iru kayo, ka back jung iru kayo kene ka tension, and haga jo upor during this whole tension he has to do the exercise which is a split squat. So you can start Mr. Bapan Sok. Yeah, up. No need to go so low. Up. Now kene ka exercise pori nang le ka create a lot of tension in all body parts. Namar baka ira ya ka dumbbell chalor. Kata iha ban perkhat pangata, and at the same time iha ban long stable ya ka kejat ru porile ya kan ya. Ka knees, ka thighs, ka hips and ka glutes at the same time. And ka whole body ka ban long straight back. Kani ka hikai i ban long straight ka body. Now while running, basic running, whenever a person ki mare and all that, and then notice bah ka met jungki ka long straight bend. Why? Because a person who is fast, like sprinting and all that, his body is always straight. Mo, kam judam shakmat, kam judam shadin ru. So what is happening? Hakane karu kampat am, kam day tong bashu berfen. Just 1 second, a little bit ahead. So stabilize the back foot. Tight. Okay, now we lift them. So what happened just now is while performing the exercise, Bapan Sok ibu ka kejat ka front foot ibu little too far back. So what happens is ka jenjari ibu in bend. That is not the point. The point is for him to be able to use his muscle, which is his quadricep, and at the same time his knees, even though they come ahead of his toes, it is okay. Because what is happening is he is not loading it too much apart from his body weight. His back foot right now ka use ka hamstring jung i and ka glutes ban stabilize i and ka calves ru slightly, and at the same time his ankle, back foot ankle is learning how to bend. So that is a conditioning exercise for his ankle also, which is required. As a running mechanics, he should be very good in his ankles, knees and hips. So this exercise is a multi-purpose exercise, but of course ikini ki exercise ni should ai bha ka on season, meaning haga por bikini kina idon match and all that. So kim don kam ban le bon, kim don kam ban le kya, namar ke kane ke exercise kim la ban le kya ro, kim la ban load heavy. They only need to use maybe a 1 kilo or 2 kilo, but the movement of what they're doing should be precise. So on season is what we usually prescribe kani ki athletes kanya. Marba kani kalong very intensive and ka affect ya ka whole body. And at the same time, you can feel the quadriceps. So that is the main thing. He should be able to know what this exercise is for. He should be able to feel it. proprioception. Thank you, Bapak. So now the next exercise which we're going to implement here in Bapansok is called leg extension. It's basically the movement of the legs extending the quadricep. But obviously because he is an athlete, a footballer, thingy haven't been pair kinded, and we have to make it a little bit dynamic. So in sedang with the normal extension with both the legs, but he has to hold it, and now he'll use single leg. As Bang Batai earlier, single leg is much more beneficial for an athlete as compared to conventional exercises. Because for a person like Bapansuk, who's a footballer, he requires to utilize his legs. Actually, single leg is during the sport itself. Marbe in the jump and all that, teng isi lantang si kejat rope. The mare and all that also, and he'll be kicking with one foot itself. He can't be kicking bro arki kejat. As a footballer, to obviously in kick si kejat. So this will create a lot of strengthening ya ka quadricep and a lot of stability. So this is the normal conventional exercise. The thing which we differentiate is we use one leg, Shiliang kejat, and he will feel the tension in that way. As compared to anything else, we do not use come heavy weight. So on season exercise is kinekin, where we do not need to use a lot of weight, a lot of resistance. Tamba iha banso thu ya ka muscle. So the intensity hakane ka exercise can long a little bit higher than a normal conventional leg extension machine. This is a very useful exercise in other parts also for normal people, general people also. Lada ki don ka deficiency hashiliang ka kejat, or maybe bala accident or something, and what happens is ka don ka kejat ka balong underdeveloped. If there's an underdevelopment on any leg, this can be used also because this is safe also. A machine is much safer than a free weight exercise, of course. So when doing this also, it's okay if you are using much lighter weight. Now we are going to do a leg press. So Bapansuk has kept the foot position where he's much more comfortable. The Mantai is done with the leg press machine. So conventional leg press is both the legs at the same time. So in Bapansuk in leg mata as an example. So when he does it, kalong very conventional, very easy to use. Targeted muscle area groups can take quadricep, slight hamstring, slight chin, and slight calves. Mentang in change kanya hindid, nakabalik single leg. They remove one leg, so now it's single leg part, ka load, kabaday tang hindid ru, kan kya shusho. Namarba, ka dynamics ka change. Hani in haben use more of the hamstring, more of the glutes, more of the quadricep, and don't drop it too far back, remember. So one of the cues for bale ekane is por bi pen drop shadien imde ban lift ya ka glutes jungi, and por bi push through imde ban lock out iha ban stay at a constant tension ha ka ba ka muscle ka yo bet ya ka exercise. So ya kane menta ipensuk in le suki namarba he cannot risk any injury. The weight also is very high. Weight is very low, sorry. But then he has to do it a little bit slowly. Kanamba in sngok thu porbale exercise. Targeted muscle groups ki have been fire at this. So very useful exercise to develop that push power. Even while running also he requires that push power. So that is very important as an endurance athlete also. So thank you Bapansuk. Lock. Acha. And slowly. Come on. Mentang inle kawai ka exercise bangi khod ka front squat. Now front squat is part of an Olympic lift. So nga ngamla ban rest ye ba pensok ben le kan namar ba he's not used to this exercise. Tamba ka neck exercise is very beneficial for an athlete. No, because it changes the dynamics of a normal squat in the sense that while doing a normal squat, his focus is in his lower body, in the posterior, meaning from nakadien. Menta por balik ka front squat part, the weight ka don hang ni. So what happens is his chest will be used, his shoulders can come, kakti, ka wrist can come, and his whole torso, meaning his core, abs and all, have to be in constant tension. So while doing this exercise, it's not an exercise for a beginner. Tamba, it is beneficial if they start early. No? While doing this exercise, lari bat porbi bat kumne, what happens is while doing it, he will feel more tension in the front portion of his body, kaneka portion of this body. So what happens is his quads also are used more. Kaneka lay emphasis ha ka quads more than ka glutes, ka hamstrings. So porbale kanya will be front waist and this. Now, one slight problem bangadon mga dalade is that while doing a squat, ngadon ka butt wing, meaning ka hip jonga ka long tlot, so ka hair shapo and ka dip punto. So in order to avoid that problem, ngalabu daka stool. What this creates is that shwaban hair shadu to shapo where I will risk injury ya ka hip. I will stop shwabakan yo katuka wing or ka dip. It's called a wing or a dip. Tementanga stand in position, the legs jonga kilong straight forward and knees jonga they're slightly bent. Why? Because kini ki kejat they have to be in tension. I cannot lock out kumto, hamarba they'll push it forward and kani kanumpunan kam kani ka muscle. Tamba the mga bu kumne part, what happens is these muscles are activated or firing, these muscles. And ang buom niya, my hamstrings also firing, my glutes are firing, my calves are also firing. So, slightly bent, toes straight, and I squat. The moment I touch the stool, ngayang no. And I do not lock out. I stay in this position where the constant tension ka don by ha ka quads. So, while doing it, it will be like this. Now, avoid injury ha kane because of my weak hip, nakababu ya ka stool, and the incline jong ka stool na din is on purpose because personally, that is the portion where ka hip jong ka dip. So I want to avoid that. That causes a lot of injury. Therefore, we shall have to avoid all of that. Now I'll perform the exercise. Okay. So first off with the front squat is the hand position. Hand position should be at least little wider than your shoulder. So wider here. Now equal distance, and grip should be an open grip. Most of the time the grip which is preferred is a hook grip, but for this purpose today we will be using an open grip. Front foot ahead like a lunge, and now shoulders together, chest out, and pick up the bar with your shoulder and delts. Now, I am not loading the bar because this is for demonstration purposes. But the load for the bar should be much lesser than a normal back squat. Now, the load is on my shoulders, my delts. And after this, we have to hold the bar with our shoulders itself. Now, knees will be in constant tension and we perform the exercise. Now, core will always be tight, back also tight, chest also tight. Exercise is very much a high intensity exercise, but at the same time, the athlete, while performing the exercise, has to keep in mind that the elbows should always be straight up, so the bar will not fall forward like this. When the bar falls forward like this, it will cause injury to the wrist. Therefore, the bar should be, your elbows should be high, so the bar will stay in position, knees bent, and dip. Breathing also should be in control. Take a breath in. Take a breath out.
Tigitu digi drills but exercises nak benta ke strength and conditioning nak benta ke jingla kai football. But ngingit scam bagi players kelayo jingmentoi shibun nak ni. But nak benta kinu ki nongile kai football ke badan kam ya ke jingerap jeng geri-geri sim ni sebahawan phone hakini ke nambah harum.